Imagine you go to the bathroom to wash your face, but your reflection doesn't appear in the mirror. It's like your whole body has disappeared. This is exactly what happens to Michael. Michael is an ordinary boy living in Italy. One day, he was sitting right behind a girl named Stella in class when a police inspector, who is also Michael's mom, came in. She was there because a boy from Michael's class had run away from home. After she left, Michael's nose suddenly started bleeding, so he ran to the bathroom. There, some mischievous kids began teasing him. Later, Michael went to buy a costume for a party that evening. He wanted to use his saved money, but he didn't have enough. All he could afford was a cheap Chinese superhero costume. Michael bought the costume, though he didn't really like it. When he got home, his mom reassured him that he looked great and encouraged him to attend the party. At the party, Michael was having a lot of fun and even got to talk to Stella, the girl he secretly liked. But soon, the bullies started bothering him again. Frustrated, he ran to the bathroom to hide. Feeling overwhelmed, he shouted, "I wish I could disappear." Suddenly, the lights went out and he escaped through the window to go home. The next morning, Michael woke up to the sound of his dog barking. When he went to the bathroom to brush his teeth, he noticed something shocking. His reflection was missing from the mirror. His clothes were visible, but his body was completely invisible. Panicking, he quickly took off all his clothes and realized that no one could see him. At that moment, his mom entered the room, but since she couldn't see him, Michael understood he had truly become invisible. To avoid suspicion, he wrote a note saying he was leaving for school and placed it near his mom. After reading the note, his mom called him to check, and invisible Michael picked up the call, pretending everything was normal. Michael told his mom not to worry and headed to school, fully covered in clothes to hide his invisible body. At school, he decided to use his new powers to teach the boys a lesson who had bullied him. He removed all his clothes and sneaked into the school. During class, he used a paintball gun to fire at the teacher. The teacher blamed the boy, and he was suspended. Feeling overconfident, Michael went into the girls' restroom. He was misusing his powers in the wrong way. Suddenly, a girl accidentally threw her towel at him. The towel revealed the outline of his body, and at that very moment, Michael's invisibility powers stopped working. He became visible again. The girls screamed in fear and ran away in panic. The next day, during class, the news came that another boy from their class had run away from home. Suddenly, Michael's hands began to disappear again. As soon as the bell rang, he quickly ran out of the classroom. Michael quickly covered himself with clothes and returned home. When he got there, his younger sister was in his room. Facing the wall, he told her to leave. She pretended to leave, but stayed hidden in the room. Thinking she had gone, Michael uncovered his face and turned around. She saw him and screamed in fear. Michael calmed her down and explained that somehow his Chinese superhero costume had given him the power to become invisible. Later, while still invisible, Michael overheard his mom talking on the phone. She revealed that Michael was adopted and had been left outside a stranger's house many years ago. This was news to Michael, and it left him deeply upset. Feeling lost, he went outside and sat on a swing. Stella, the girl he liked, appeared and thought she might be near a ghost. Instead of running away, she sat on the swing next to him. Michael found this strange, but Stella asked if they could be friends. In response, Michael drew a smiley face on the ground, and they played together for a while. As Michael sat quietly, he noticed a man staring at him. Then he quickly realized the man was blind. That night, Michael visited Stella's house. She was thrilled to have an invisible friend. They spent time together, but suddenly, Michael's powers started to fade. Before Stella could see his face, he ran away. Later, Stella was practicing gymnastics alone in the hall when someone attacked her with a sharp object. She collapsed unconscious. Meanwhile, at home, Michael decided it was time to tell Stella the truth about his powers. He took his dog and prepared to meet her. Michael wandered near the gymnastics hall and spotted a masked man carrying Stella on his shoulder. He tried to stop the man, and even Michael's dog bit the kidnapper on his hand. Later, the police arrived and discovered that the children hadn't run away from home but were being kidnapped. When Stella woke up, she found herself in an empty room with wires attached to her head. One of Michael's teachers was there, conducting strange tests on her. Afterward, Stella was locked in a room with the other kidnapped children. The next day, Michael was sitting alone by the seaside when the blind man from earlier approached him. Before Michael could ask anything, the man, who introduced himself as Andre, began answering all of Michael's unspoken questions, as if he could read his mind. Andre revealed that he was Michael's biological father. Shocked, Michael refused to believe him and shouted that it was a lie. Andre then explained his story. He was once an ordinary boy living in a small village in Russia, but one day, a nuclear radiation leak killed most of the villagers. The few survivors developed mysterious powers. When the army discovered this, they decided to use the survivors as living weapons and conducted bizarre experiments on them, and reports revealed that no one except Andre and Michael's mother could have children in the camp. When Michael was born, he became the first child with extraordinary powers. Wanting a better future for him, Andre and Michael's mother escaped from the military camp with their son. Michael's mother was killed during their escape. Knowing Michael would never be safe with him, Andre used his mind-reading powers to ensure that Gio, Michael's adoptive mother, was a kind woman. He left Michael at her doorstep and disappeared. However, Andre warned Michael that the military had discovered his location and would come for him soon. Michael doubted his story, but Andre insisted they couldn't talk anymore. He noticed a man nearby is suspicious and about to call the police. Andre gave Michael a special suit that would turn invisible along with his body. Then, using his powers, Andre erased the fisherman's memory and left. Later, while talking to his teacher, Michael's mom revealed that she had adopted Michael. Hearing this, teacher began suspecting that he might be this special child. When his teacher came to his house to confirm his identity, Michael noticed a dog bite mark on the teacher's hand, the same one his dog had given the kidnapper. Michael quickly excused himself and used his powers to turn invisible and escape. While running away, Michael plotted his next move and decided to take revenge on those who had tormented him and hurt Stella. Michael saw the bully boy and quickly told him to escape. Once they reached a safe spot, Michael explained everything to him. Meanwhile, Stella had come up with an idea. If they stacked on top of each other, they could escape from the room. Her plan worked, and they managed to get out and reach the roof. There, Stella found a searchlight. She believed her invisible friend was looking for her, so she made a smiley face with the light, just like the one Michael had made the first time they met. When Michael saw the signal, he realized where Stella was. He rushed to save her and his friends, but just then, a guard caught Stella. Ivan used his paintball gun to hit an electrical circuit, causing a malfunction. As Michael became invisible and sneaked into the building, he saw his teacher and some thugs all working together to find him. Michael quickly took action by hitting one guard on the head with a fire extinguisher and pointing a gun at another. He freed all the kidnapped children and unlocked the guards inside. They wanted to leave quickly, but Stella insisted they should help an old man who was locked in a nearby room. Michael agreed and followed her. However, Stella led him directly into the hands of the people he had been escaping from. Suddenly, Stella collapsed and an old man, sitting behind her, spoke. It turned out that this man could control anyone's mind, and it was he who had manipulated Stella and Michael's teacher. The military took Michael and Stella aboard a submarine and headed toward their destination through the sea. They set the building to self-destruct, knowing the explosion would happen in a few seconds. Ivan and Michael's father quickly rescued the kidnapped children and Michael's teacher, realizing that the poor teacher had done nothing wrong. His mind had been controlled by the old man. Just before the explosion, they managed to escape the building. Back in the submarine, Michael discovered that he had more powers than just invisibility. He could also move objects with his mind. He used his abilities to break things and defeat the thugs, saving Stella and himself. Using his power, he brought the submarine back to the shore, where everyone was waiting for him. He was thrilled and started to show off his powers, disappearing in front of everyone. His father approached him and reminded him that he couldn't reveal his abilities so openly. To keep his identity secret, he erased everyone's memory present there to keep Michael's powers confidential. After that, his father promised to return. Everything returned to how it was before. If you like the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.